right? So they had the perp come across the street standing there. Again, I know. Yeah, I know. It's always this nonsense, but I'm not falling for that shit. Never fell for it. And they know they can't manipulate me, but it's the same shit over and over. By the way, I almost forgot. So my brother texted me because I had lent him some money, and I talk about this where Bobby Hemmett talk about this too, how they will manipulate people and manipulate things. So he texted me today saying that they stole his phone, right? They stole his phone, and I'm like, okay, well, why didn't you tell me this yesterday or even Sunday or over the weekend? But you're telling me now, right? But I'll explain more on that when I get inside. All right. So as I was saying, so the reason again I talk about this with Bobby Hemmett, he talks about how what would happen to him, like whenever he's always low on funds or what have you, that there'll all be people calling him asking for money and such. And he was telling a story about this guy who was always giving money to family members because again, they don't understand that they're being targeted. They're being targeted, and one of the ways in which they target you is economic warfare, right? And economic warfare meaning that they'll blacklist you from finding work. They'll sabotage any type of business venture that you may be in. And if you do have any form of income, they will manipulate people or situations with people that it could be family members, kids, what have you, particularly if you have adult children, right? This is what they do. So, you know, sometimes at the end of the month, because I'm on disability, again, I might be a little, short on cash or what have you. And so, like my brother will call me from time to time. I lend him some money. Not a problem. It's my brother. I know he's targeted. I know exactly what it is that's being done. And so, again, he texted me, today as I was on the bus, saying that they stole his phone last week and that he's not able to give me the money back. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm saying, you didn't call me last week to let me know. You didn't call me over the weekend to let me know. You didn't call me yesterday to let me know. But you called me today. Which is, I understand. I understand. You know, but again, right, they understand what it is that they're doing. Right? When I went into that store and I talk about how I only had like $5 in my wallet, they knew exactly what they were doing. They're gonna put me through this test after targeting me. Having my sister over the weekend, whenever she comes into my bedroom in the morning, she usually lock the door because I ask her, whenever you leave, please lock back my door. Right? So the fact that again she's leaving my door open, and it makes me think too that my shoulder injury was it because she left the door open and they might have came in and injured my shoulder. You know what I'm saying? So because I noticed that after that happened, she started doing that more and more. Right? So using family members again to engage in those sort of tactics. And again, go look at people don't want to believe us as TIs, but they have been programmed in East Germany in which people's family members was doing this to their own family member. The program was called Zerzer. So don't think these things haven't been happening here in the United States. Right? When we look at the Black Panther Party, what happened to them, the infiltration within their party, the Black Panther who was doing social work that was good, right? That the U.S. government thought that they were the greatest threat. Why? Because they were implementing programs to teach, educate young black people, to feed the elderly, to feed black school children, and not just black school children, all children who were, at economic disadvantage. Okay? So again, but this is what they do to us. It's called cognitive warfare and neurocognitive warfare. Particularly if you're a TI, it is neurocognitive warfare. Because it is cognitive warfare, it is COINTELPRO, it is all those things with the addition of the use of technology, particularly being microchip, particularly being hit with microwave and radio wave frequency. And of course, the general population, depending on who you are as a TI and what it is that they're doing to you, people around you, will also be affected by those microwave and radio wave frequencies. But because you're targeted, you are microchip, they have a direct manner in which they can target you and single you out, which is again doing what is called brain fingerprinting, right? Hijacking your consciousness. So when I talk about they hijack my children's consciousness, again, understand that when my kids are around me, they can use that frequency to broadcast to a small area around me in which my kids are in, or which Pam is in, and engage in the manipulation of their mind, right? So it's very specific how they do things. When you're out in public and you experiencing the synchronization, particularly in a certain manner, right? Particularly synchronization with where you see that where you're being directed to turn and look a certain way, and people do hand signals, that is them targeting you specifically, but also engulfing that area to manipulate the people in that area doing those things. But again, it's very specific, so you got to understand that. And then there's those that are being told what to do, how to do certain things, like with the missynchronization. They'll see them running to try to catch up to you. That's not silent sound, right? That's them being given information of where you're going to be when you're leaving by using hand signals to other perps to signal them that you're on your way. Okay, so understand what it is that they're doing, how they're doing it, the technology being used, the damage that it caused. And again, it's important to get medical documentation of the harm that they've caused you, not just neurologically and physically, but psychologically as well. Okay, and as I said, not just neurologically and physically, they use it's police sirens. Again, they have to be able to try to get away with what it is that they've done to you. So remember, frame-ups and setups is a key part of their manipulative tactics, is a key part of their program in order to silence you and to keep you from coming forward. Okay, and if you do come forward and people do believe you, it is then their opportunity to try to get rid of you by trying to charge you with a fictitious crime using liars, manipulators, and people who they're sent to engage in crimes against you. All right, so don't think about if you commit any crime, because you haven't. They have committed a crime against you. When you realize that, then you will begin to understand just how insidious and wicked and evil these programs are. Why? Because again, you're just a small part of an agenda that they have, which is to basically do this to the vast majority of people, particularly if you're a black person. And black people, Negropeans and non-Negropeans, their target is you and I. Okay, that's their primary targets. Okay, talk to you guys in the next video.